Lakes. I'm just so very pleased to have our Premier, Doug Ford, along with Minister Piccini here in the riding. It's always great to have my colleagues come to the riding, and this is a fantastic opportunity for us today. We've also got a couple of mayors, and as a former mayor, it's nice to see your worships here, and just really want to impress upon everyone how wonderful it is today. Barry Moss, our host today at 401 Electric, was recently given the Brockville Citizen of the Year Award, and I just want to congratulate Barry. He's done a fantastic job with this business and fantastic in the community. It's really important for me as the local MPP to recognize the investments in skilled trades and the fact that they're literally changing lives. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I had a mom literally come across the county road in beautiful downtown Athens to tell me how much her young son benefited by the program at the Kempo campus. And Leila, it's so great that we've got trades back in the campus. Since we've been in government, we brought it back because the previous government had canceled it, and it's literally a game changer. So that mom, a couple of weeks later, I was at the Leeds County plowing match, and I got to meet her son, who again thanked me and our government for this training funds. It's literally been a game changer for him. Skilled trades investments not only build our workforce, but what Ontario needs. It provides a brighter future for our young people. And again, this program is wonderful. This announcement today is fantastic. With that, as a former mayor, I want to introduce our current mayor, the Honourable Matt Wren. Your Worship, come forward and say a few words.
Thanks, MPP Clark. MPP Clark had as much hair as I do when he was mayor of Brockville. So it's a real pleasure to be here today. Premier Ford, Minister Piccini, it's an honor for me to welcome you to the city of Brockville today, especially here at this wonderful local family business, 401 Electric. And we're looking forward to hearing more about your government's ongoing investments in skills training, which will provide new opportunities for well-paying jobs for our residents, especially our local young people. But we're entering Thanksgiving weekend, so I would be remiss not to take the opportunity to thank you, Premier, for your government's continued support for our community. Just in the last few weeks, we've seen the opening of the first new public school built in our city in over 50 years, the Swiftwaters Elementary School. It's absolutely beautiful. And days later, we celebrated the opening of the new MRI suite at the Brockville General Hospital, which will enhance the already wonderful services that BGH provides. So for these continued investments, Premier, I want to publicly thank you and your government. We look forward to continuing to work together for the benefit of our residents and businesses. And it's now my pleasure to introduce my friend and colleague, Mayor Nancy Peckford, the Mayor of North Grenville and the Warden of the United Counties of Leeds and Grenville.
Well, what an exciting day, and I'm just so grateful to Premier Ford and Minister David Piccini, who spent some time with us in Kemptville earlier this morning, and of course our local MPP, Steve Clark, who's been a tireless champion for all of our communities throughout Leeds and Grenville, and we're deeply appreciative for his support, the support of Minister Piccini, and of course Premier Ford. You know, skills development training is just crucial for future generations. It's crucial for the vitality of our local economies, and it's crucial for families who are in urgent need of well-paying jobs and meaningful work. And what better work is there than in the apprenticeship field? You know, as a mom of 3 school-age kids, I see lots of high school kids these days really trying to figure out what can they do next. And access to early exposure to apprenticeship opportunities and access to robust apprenticeship training is really critical, and we're so appreciative and excited that our apprenticeship programs in North Grenville, particularly at the campus and in partnership with local businesses like DeVries, are just growing and expanding the opportunities. We know that our youth are wanting to build careers often close to home so that they can in turn support the communities that have supported them in their youth. We won't have a future without skilled workers, and we won't have skilled workers without giving them the opportunity to learn. So I'm thrilled by the announcements today, but particularly the long-standing support that this government has provided to Kemptville campus and our local businesses. Thank you so much. Thank you, Premier.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name's Barry Moss, President of 401 Electric. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to the Premier, Mr. Ford, the Minister Piccini, and our local MPP, Steve Clark, and the Mayor of our city, Matt Wren, and the Mayor of North Grenville, Nancy Ford. It's an honor to have you here in Brockville, in the heart of the beautiful Thousand Islands region. We're pleased to host today's event and recognize Premier Ford and Minister Piccini for their proactive efforts in tackling the skilled trades shortage head-on. Their leadership in addressing apprenticeship ratios and expanding training and education while keeping health and safety at the forefront is greatly appreciated. This has significantly impacted 401 Electric and its staff, enabling us to do our part in strengthening the future of skilled trades. Together, we are helping to make Ontario a great place to work and live. Thanks to the shift to one-to-one apprentice to journey person ratios, companies like ours can now train more apprentices for higher paying jobs and help fill the skills gap shortage. This approach not only helps them earn their Red Seal certification, but also prepares them for roles as project managers, estimators, and into management. This is essential for the future of Ontario's electrical industry. Right now, we're proud to have 18 apprentices going through this process, and many of them are here today. I hope everyone takes the time to enjoy our beautiful city and the wonderful Thousand Islands region. Leela.
I'm Leela Ramachandran. I'm the Programs Manager at Kemptville Campus, and I'm really thrilled to be able to express our appreciation on behalf of the campus for the skills development funding, which allows us to expand our apprenticeship programs in the motive power trades. We have a unique partnership with the Upper Canada District School Board, as well as many industry partners, that allows us to deliver training to youth and adults throughout Leeds, Grenville, and Eastern Ontario. Today's investment by the province supports innovative approaches to skills training. We offer a hybrid learning format that allows apprentices to continue working while they complete their schooling. This benefits both apprentices and local employers. We also partner with schools to deliver training to students from grades 7 through 12, introducing them to the trades as a viable career path. And we're very excited to now be able to offer Level 2 apprenticeship training for agricultural and heavy equipment technicians right here in Leeds, Grenville. This means apprentices can continue to work, study, and live here as they progress towards their Red Seal certification. And I do want to acknowledge the essential contributions of our many industry partners. We work with several local employers in the region to make sure that our apprentices gain the skills and knowledge to meet today's job market demands. And their support and contributions are really invaluable to the program. So thanks again for this support. We're really excited to be building skilled trades on campus.
Thank you, Leela. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Leah, for those remarks. I'm excited to be here for today's announcement because it's, well, you're hearing from us. It's all about these bright, young, energetic faces behind us. It's about their future. Thank you, Steve Clark, who's been such a remarkable champion for this community, and not just the community, but for our next generation. Steve has been squarely focused on our next generation, working to support rural Ontario businesses. You have been their voice, Steve. Thank you for being such an incredible MPP here. Barry, President of 401 Electric, of course, Citizen of the Year. Communities don't thrive without leaders like Barry in them. Leela, Program Manager at Kemptville Campus. for your incredible leadership in empowering the next generation with the skill sets to succeed. Brockville Mayor Matt Wren, North Grenville Mayor Nancy Peckford. We can't do it without our partnership with municipal partners, and in a big way they've stepped up, especially at Kemptville, so thank you. I want to also say a thank you to two who aren't here, Nathan and Curtis at DeVries Power and Utility Solutions. We toured them this morning, and they're doing remarkable work, but I want to tell you a bit about the impact of Ontario's skilled trades men and women. They can't be there because they're on skeleton staff, in part because they're journey persons and apprentices who've been working around the clock down in the United States, helping with the damage that's been done by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. And Canadians are down there helping our friends south of the border and keeping those communities safe, making sure we can restore power in a timely fashion. And they're down there. So, you know, the might of Canadian skilled trades men and women expands far beyond our communities and south of the border. These workers are literally saving lives. And it goes to show you how important it is that we build up Ontario's skilled workforce to create a more prosperous and more secure future, which is why we're all here today. Better training, better jobs with bigger paychecks. That's what we're laser focused on as a government. Together with our training partners, we're training hundreds of thousands of new workers for careers in the skilled trades. But a large share of experienced tradespeople are retiring over the coming years. 1 in 3 tradespeople are nearing retirement, and we must transfer the skills and expertise from one generation to the next and ensure a clear, streamlined path and journey for apprentices to become journey persons. This is especially important in rural Ontario. Clear pathways to the trades lies at the heart of Ontario's Skills Development Fund, investing $1.4 billion to train approximately 600,000 workers, including 92,000 manufacturing workers, 66,000 construction workers, 36,000 PSWs, and healthcare workers. Our Skills Development Fund enables us to connect today's students with the golden generation of skilled tradespeople who built this province. We stand on the shoulder of everyone who came before us. And we don't value a society we passively inherit. We value a society we have an active stake in creating. That's what this next generation is doing. From building new homes that families can call home, to clean energy projects, literally powering our communities and keeping the lights on. We have no time to waste, which leads me to the last person I haven't recognized here, and that's, of course, Premier Ford, who understands the needs of rural Ontario. When it comes to things like the Kemptville campus, when it comes to the grade 7s who are going through 530 plus youth in that local school board, or in St. Mary's where I was yesterday, seeing the incredible linkages with the Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Fund, the specialist high skills majors, the incredible look on the youth's faces that I spoke to there, their purpose, their potential will be realized. To be quite frank, it was ignored in the past. We weren't making those investments. In fact, we were closing the doors to campuses like Kemptville, to skilled trades, shops in class. This Premier is leaving no stone unturned. This Premier recognizes that if we're going to build the Ontario we want, we've got to go out and grab it. And he's ensuring the next generation have the skill sets needed to do just that. So it's my honor to welcome Premier Ford for today's exciting announcement. Premier, thank you for your leadership. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day here, and thank you, David, for that introduction. It's great to be back in beautiful city of Brockville alongside Minister Piccini and MPP Steve Clark. I just want to talk about Steve here for a minute and kind of reiterate what you were saying. You know, he's a champion down at caucus and cabinet, and he leads our whole group down there. And I just want to thank him, because without Steve's voice down there, this just wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't. And I just want to thank you for your ongoing work. I know it takes a whole group here to make it happen, but you have to have a strong leader, and you have an incredible representative for this community down at Queen's Park. But before I begin, I just want to again welcome Mayor Wren and Mayor Peckford. Thank you for coming, having us by down in this area. We're very grateful. As well as Leela, thank you for all the work you're doing at the Kemptville Campus Education and Community Center. And I want to echo Minister Piccini's shout out to the team at DeVries power and utility solutions. You know, it's funny, you were saying that, you know, they're heading down to the U.S., that they're down there. So I was talking to Buddy Carter, a congressman down in Georgia yesterday, asking him, you know, how everything's going, and they were so appreciative. The folks in Florida and Georgia, I know we've sent over 100 people from Hydro One down there, and all sorts of different resources. But that's what you do when your neighbors are in trouble. We're down there, and they do the exact same thing for us. So hopefully we'll be able to straighten things out and give them the support that they need down there. And we're just so proud of them for stepping up and assisting our neighbors to the south with hurricane recovery efforts. This is the Ontario spirit in action. It's so great to see people doing this and supporting everyone. And finally, I want to thank Barry and everyone at 401 Electric for hosting us today. Again, congratulations on your award in Brockville here. Barry, you're an absolute champion. And for your more than 50 years of delivering electrical solutions to homes and businesses, helping to build this region. And friends, our government is working hard with MPP Clark, with all the local mayors, and with great companies like 401 Electric to attract new investments and jobs to Leeds Grenville. Just this morning, Stats Canada released its latest job numbers. I'll tell you, this is just incredible numbers, because you hear things may be slowing down and so on and so forth, and I talk to a lot of people across the country and down in the U.S. Man, it doesn't look that way here, and it just shows what we're doing is working. What we're doing here is working. Last month, Stats Canada showed Ontario added more than 43,000 jobs. It's actually 43,200 jobs. 97% of the jobs here in Canada were created here in Ontario. So I just want to thank all the people that created those jobs and everyone that's helping train the people to get those jobs. It's really incredible if you think of it. And that's more than all other provinces and territories combined. And it means that we've created nearly 200,000 jobs since the beginning of this year alone. Just think of this. 6 years ago, the previous government chased 300,000 jobs out of our province because of high taxes, regulations, red tape, high energy cost. It's amazing when everyone works together with the local communities and all the towns and cities and in the private sector and the unions. There's more than 860,000 more people working today than they're working back in 2018. Those are massive numbers. And there's no other jurisdiction, as I said to Congressman Carter yesterday, and speaking to some Americans last night at a talk. Last year, the manufacturers of this province, and there's manufacturers here in this town and all over Ontario, created more manufacturing jobs than all 50 U.S. states combined. Think of that. All 50 U.S. states combined. We've seen just this year, we've seen over 136 companies worldwide invest here, $11 billion, creating 12,200 jobs. But the world is talking about Ontario now, and they never talked about Ontario. Matter of fact, the world didn't even know where Ontario was. And now we're making sure that the whole world is knowing about Ontario, and we always say we're open for business, and they're coming by the droves. You know, guys, I had a conversation with Minister Vic Fideli that I do in the morning and at night. It's like, and he said the opportunities, he just came back from Belgium and Germany and I think it's Sweden. And he said the people that are coming here, there are billions of dollars that are being invested. And when I saw him the other day, he had 5 pages of investments of billions of dollars that are coming to Ontario. Reason being, we have the brightest and smartest people anywhere in the world. But as we continue to face global economic uncertainty, we need to do whatever we can to ensure this growth is sustainable. Here in Leeds Grenville, that means we need to stay focused on keeping costs down for businesses and families, and creating the conditions to attract new investments and jobs, on providing better service closer to home, and on building the infrastructure we need to grow and prosper. Right across this province, we've embarked on the most ambitious capital plan in the province's history. We're investing $190 billion over the next 10 years on hospitals, spending $50 billion on hospitals, 50 sites across the province. Schools, we're spending about $16 billion on schools. Roads and highways, we're spending close to $30 billion. Transit, right across the province, we're spending $70 billion. And we're building the critical infrastructure. But I'm so proud to say we're investing more money into rural communities than any government in the history of Ontario. This includes $33.6 million to expand high-speed internet access here in Leeds, Grenville. And I have to tell you, out of all the infrastructure, close to $200 billion of infrastructure, yes, we need hospitals, yes, we need schools, we need roads, bridges, highways, but nothing, I feel, nothing changes people's lives more than they have connectivity. You know, no matter if their cell phone blanks out or they want to go on the internet, we're going to make sure we provide a total across the province, $4.2 billion to connect every single person, no matter if they live in the far north or here or even outside the cities. You keep breaking up and losing connection. We're going to change people's lives for businesses and young people that want to get on the internet and the social media. Well, maybe stay away from the social media too much. That's getting a little crazy lately. But anyways, you just learn so much. $5.7 million for water infrastructure, which is so important. We've invested $3 billion. The Minister of Infrastructure just announced $3 billion to upgrade water and wastewater across our province to enable the construction of more than 400 new homes in Gananoque. And $4.4 million for the construction of a new multi-use recreational complex in the town of Prescott. Since 2021, we've also invested $2.5 million as part of our Skills Development Fund to train workers throughout Leeds Grenville for rewarding careers in the skilled trades. And I always tell people that are getting in skilled trades and the young people getting involved in the skilled trades, you have a skilled trade, you have a job for life. Just think of that, a job for life. And it's, you know, you can go anywhere. Stay in Ontario, but you can go anywhere in Ontario or around the country or anywhere in the world. So that we can build the infrastructure we need, and so local businesses have the workers they need to grow and expand. And today, I'm so thrilled to announce we're almost doubling that investment, providing an additional $2.1 million to train more than 700 workers for in-demand careers. This includes more than $1 million for 401 Electric to train and upskill electrical workers with paid stipends, which means they're earning and learning. That's critical, by the way. You can't be learning like you have expenses, right? You can't be, you know, just learning and not having an income. So that's a great program. $840,000 for Kemptville Campus Education and Community Center to train apprentices, workers, and young people in motive power and in skilled trades. And $263,000 for DeVries Power and Utilities Solutions to build and expanded training facilities in Kemptville. That will train heavy mechanics, which we're in desperate need of, by the way, as well as electrical and power line workers. These investments will help train hundreds of workers throughout the region for better jobs and deliver bigger paychecks for them and their families. It will help attract new investments and help us build the homes, the schools, hospitals, highways, and other critical infrastructure that the region needs, that the province needs. Thank you all for joining us today, and may God bless the people of Ontario. Thank you so much.
We will now go to reporters' questions. Reporters, please line up at the mic behind me. Please identify yourselves by name and outlet. It'll be one question, one follow-up. First reporter.
How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Premier, good to see you.
Good to see you. How's your knee doing?
Well, it's coming along, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Excellent.
That's great news today.
Yeah, it is.
This
really
is something that I remember on a talk show I did probably 40 years ago,
Yes.
a man from Delta would call in and said, they're doing this in Germany.
Yes.
Why are we not doing this here in
Thank
Ontario?
you. Absolutely. 100% there.
How do we get this message to the students?
Yeah, well, what we're doing skilled work fairs all around the province, and he knows the number. I'm going to bring Minister Piccini up because the numbers, what were there, 30,000 kids that showed up, and next year 35. But go ahead.
Thanks, Bruce, and for talking about it on radio. It is important, you're right. And we've mimicked things from the German system. We have mandatory tech classes now, exposing kids to opportunities in the trades. Our Level Up career fairs that the Premier mentioned, over 35,000 students will benefit this year alone. We kicked it off in Coburg earlier this year with just shy of 1,000 students. The things I heard there, the most common, I've never done this before. Yeah. And so that sort of exposure is key. It builds on the 2 previous years. And this year, Premier said we need to target parents. So we've incorporated evening sessions for parents. And it's amazing because you hear from the students, and then at night, the parents then message us and say, this is incredible, the incredible career my young son or daughter will have. So we've never done this before in the province of Ontario, but now we're getting it into elementary school, high school, bringing back shop, getting real life training in employers, and our Level Up career fairs.
Bruce, you remember when we went to school and they used to have shop class?
Yeah.
That was great. Like, we're bringing that back, and it gives the kids the opportunity to learn different skilled trades.
Premier, just one follow-up that has got nothing to do with today's announcement.
Yeah.
This is Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes.
And here in Brockville today, we're having, through this radio station, we're having a 12-hour food bank fill-up.
Oh, beautiful.
My understanding is the food bank use in Brockville has increased by 50% since last year.
Yeah.
I know the province is trying to help, but is there anything more that you can do to help the homeless in this country?
Okay, let me rattle through some numbers here for you, and thank you for having that food bank. And it's people like you, Bruce, that help people, and there are multiple organizations that help people. I have a Salvation Army in my area that I always go to and drop off baskets of food. So, folks, if you have any food at all, please go visit Bruce and drop it off, or any of the fire halls or any areas that are collecting. So Leeds Grenville went from 1.5 million a year up to 3 million. 83 million from the Ontario Trillium Fund, 8 million to Feed Ontario, 700 million for homeless prevention. But what we do, Bruce and folks listening, we send it to service providers, and then the service providers provide that as well, and then about 38 million for the school food program as well. So we're pouring money in, but that doesn't mean we have enough. We really rely on the private sector and very generous people that, drop off a tin of Campbell soup. You may not think that's a lot. You get 100 people dropping off those tins. It all adds up. So thank you. Thank you again, Bruce. I hope your knee feels better, buddy. That's good.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Fowler with CTV News in Ottawa. Question, can you go into a little bit more about how this will help impact the local community and how it will help develop the region?
Well, they're the region guys that should, Clarky or yourself, whoever wants to take this one.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Kimberly. So this Skills Development Fund has been a real game changer. I gave you a couple of examples of a mom and her son that really spoke about the courses they took at Kempville and how it really set the young person up for success. What I want to say is, this announcement today is equal to the first 3 tranches of this program. So to be able to have this investment here at 401, at DeVries, and at the campus will really set us up for success with hundreds of good paying jobs. And that coupled with what happened yesterday, we had an Evonik, a local company, providing a new product to be able to retain those 29 jobs and to have 5 new jobs. We're firing on all cylinders. And as the Premier said, there's a lot of good things happening in our province. We just got to make sure we keep that momentum going. So I appreciate the dollars today. It's going to make a real impact on young people, whether they're grade 7 and 8 students in local public schools, or whether they're mature students or people wanting to change careers. I want to see more of those yellow vests and those hard hats in Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands, and Rideau Lakes. And I appreciate the work that the Premier, Minister Piccini, have done to help make that a reality.
I can just add, just briefly, you heard the Premier really touch on the mechanics piece. Our men and women are down fighting, the devastation with the hurricane. But Ottawa knows from, natural disasters and challenges from very difficult past, the importance of having men and women and our first responders there to support it. And so imagine having a fleet but not having people to fix those vehicles and to be able to respond in a timely manner. We're changing that. We're ensuring there's a next generation of skilled trades men and women to match. And what's the imperative? 1 in 3 journey persons are over the age of 55. It's not only about just getting a next generation, it's about succession planning. It's about ensuring that 401 Electric and everybody, DeVries, others, have a plan to succeed and grow into the future as our communities grow. So that's the imperative, and that's what it matters to local communities, so that we can ensure that as we bring new fleets online in public transit, new vehicles online to support our utility operators, that we have men and women who can ensure we're responsive in a timely manner.
Great. And my follow-up question for the Premier, again, off topic a little bit here. Any developments with the Mayor of Ottawa's campaign for fairness, asking for the provincial government to chip in their fair share? You said the province would. If the federal government did, any developments on that? Have you reached out to Mayor Sutcliffe at all?
Yeah, first of all, I love Mayor Sutcliffe. We have a phenomenal relationship. We talk frequently. I know the bureaucrats have been going back and forth. We're uploading Highway 174 and the Barnsdale interchange we're doing with 416 there as well. We've already put a police station down in the market, which was so important. And you see a change in the market. I've been hearing from people, it makes a difference when the police are there. Now, when it comes to transit, we need support from the federal government. They're the biggest employer there. They have to get people back to work, or why have transit? They're the #1 employer. That helps the local businesses. It helps build transit, but they need to step up. Like we put in a few $1 billion there, but we need the federal government, since they're the largest employer in that region, to put some money towards that. So we're really pushing the feds to help out. That's how we can get this transit going. They get people back to work. It makes a huge difference for the local economy. But thank you. Two great questions.
Good morning, Dan Tackman with CBC News. I'm going to start you off with an Ottawa-based question as well, Premier.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about the office your government helped set up in Ottawa. It's been 6 months, and I'm wondering what work has been done so far, and can you speak to what its biggest accomplishment has been?
Yeah, well, there's just so much work going through that office. I get briefed all the time. They're as busy as anything there, working with the federal counterparts, making sure that we work with the mayor. The mayor says that's the best thing we've ever done, is have an office down there to communicate. They're going to be working with the mayor to make sure we land this deal. As I mentioned, no matter if it's the 416 or Highway 174 or the Barnsdale cutoff, and that's who we're working with. Plus, so many of our members go there, and ministers, you have a landing spot that you can go and set up meetings with the federal government or with the mayor or the local region. So it's probably the best thing we've ever done, and one of the best things on the communication side. And if you have a problem in Ottawa, go knock on the door. They'll help you any way they can, or give me a call personally on my cell phone. One of the two.
All right, and then just jumping off Bruce's questions there about hunger. And this is Toronto-based. So Toronto City Council just voted 23-1 to support a universal student food program. Would your government be signing a deal with the federal government to help fund this effort? And if so, when can parents, especially those struggling to put food in kids' lunchboxes, expect to see some support?
I'm a big fan of the breakfast program. We gave a lot of money when I was down there with my brother Rob. We want to work with the federal government. We actually are in the midst of discussions right now with the feds, and we'll support them. They come to the table. But as mentioning, I think it was, $38 million for the food program. So I think it's so helpful for kids to have a little meal in them, makes them think better during the day. But I'm all in. We're just waiting to hear the amount from the federal government, what they're going to be pitching in.
Hi, I'm Chris Valella from the Brockvilleist. Thank you very much, Premier, for the funding of this of these new jobs in the area.
Thank you, Chris.
You've also recently added 2 new parliamentary assistants to what can be deemed a fairly large cabinet. And that includes a significant raise to Tyler Alsop in Quinte and our own MPP and the House Leader Steve Clark as part of those promotions. Contextually, you've often spoken about or spoken against large and what you sometimes call bloated governments. Can you speak to how these promotions are different and why they were needed?
Well, 100%. First of all, I want to start off, we're the only government in the history of this province, think of this, that's never raised a tax. We reduced taxes. We got rid of the sticker fee that people are having to pay every single year. We ended up reducing the gas tax, our fair share, 10.7 cents. And just think, folks, April 1st, the crunch is coming down. They're going to add, the feds are going to add the worst tax ever, the carbon tax. So you're going to be paying 20 cents a liter. They already have 17 cents, another 3 cents on every liter of gas. We got rid of the tolls in 412 and 418 and made one fare transit for the greater area of wherever the GO train goes and transit. We're looking at cutting costs every which way we possibly can. Now let me touch on something. You know, everyone, go after politicians. I get it. I don't need the raise and so on and so forth. I worked my back off for a number of years building a company. But there's people that get into this job, and there's no public or private sector that has not got a raise. And I don't plan on doing this, but they have not got a raise, all political stripes, since 2000, what was it, 2007, Clarkie? 2007. That's just not fair. I don't care if you're a politician or you're not, but 2007, and it doesn't matter if the PCs, the Liberals, the Orange, whoever, I don't know. These guys work their backs off. That's all I can tell you. When you get an elected official and they're actually doing their job, I guarantee it's 365 days, 24/7. And this phone does not stop ringing until 1:30. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about other people. I don't need it. But some folks, it's a tough one out there for them. So anyways, no one's received a raise since I've been in office. No one received a raise the previous government and the previous government and the previous government. So anyways, that's what it comes down to. We make someone a parliamentary assistant, good for them. They get another, I don't even know what it is, 10 grand or something, and they work their back off around the clock 7 days a week. You're on call. So, but anyways, the base salary is never changed. And honestly, it's not fair. It just isn't. It's not a popular thing to do or say, but, that's the truth of the fact.
The raise for a parliamentary assistant is $16,000. I want to give you an opportunity to speak specifically about those 2 individuals that you've chosen for those promotions for those roles. So Tyler Alsop, who was recently elected last month, so he's been in his role as an MPP for less than a month at this point.
Yep.
And our own Steve Clark, who already has a significant role as House Leader. I wonder if you could talk to us specifically about the choice of those 2 individuals.
Well, Tyler, we didn't have a parliamentary assistant in long-term care, so every minister needs one, especially a big portfolio like long-term care that we're building. So good for Tyler. And Steve Clark is a leader down there. First of all, everyone loves the guy. He's a leader in caucus. He's going to be leading us in the legislature, and I'm so proud of him. He's extremely bright. He knows all the ins and outs, and he's been there since before Moses. He knows more than what I do. I just like getting out there and talking to the people and creating more jobs, but everyone has a role. And both Tyler and Steve play a critical role at Queen's Park. You compare us to the other levels of government, right? Compare us to a mayor that makes 300 and some odd grand. Compare us to an MPP. You guys are going to have to help me. What do they make? 200 grand now, an average MPP? MP? Yeah, MP. Sorry, MP. Yeah, over 200 grand. They get their pensions after 6 years. You know, what these people that work their backs off, guess what they get? They get a handshake. And they make almost half of an MP. So, yeah, does it burn me up a little bit? Yeah, it does. Because it's just not fair. And every premier has never been able to do anything about it. It's unfortunate, to be very frank with you. But they have bills to pay like everyone else.
This will be the last reporter.
Hello, I'm Sabrina Bedford. I work for the Brockville Recorder and Times. You spoke about the shortage of skilled trade workers throughout the province, but I'm wondering if someone could speak to what that looks like specifically in Brockville and Leeds and Grenville. What's the shortage? How hard is it to find a worker?
Well,
today?
That should be going to the mayor or you guys, whoever wants to take this one.
Yeah, you know, my entire time in the legislature, Sabrina, I've had companies like 401 and DeVries talk about the skilled trades gap that we need to be able to meet today's demand. As well, the program at Kempville speaks directly to companies like farm machinery companies and others that need that motive power degree. You know, this guy beside me, I've been in this shop many times, talking about the need to have more apprentices, more training dollars, more opportunities for young people to be able to move them forward, give them a high-paying job and a future. So, you know, today's announcement for Barrie, for DeVries, for Kempville speaks directly to what I've been hearing since the first day I got elected in 2010.
Thanks, Steve. The necessity of building apprentices to journey people is critical in a small town like Brockville. In bigger cities where you have a lot of electricians, you can easily or have the ability to find electricians. In Brockville, we don't have that ability. So unless at 401 Electric we can get apprentices in, get them trained to journeymen, get them through our company into other positions like project managers, foremen, into management, it's absolutely critical for us. Thank you.
This will be the last question.
About 4 years ago, your government announced a jail in Kemptville, and since then, a few opposition groups have popped up, and they're still very active today.
Yep.
I'm just wondering what the status of that project is and whether your government is taking into consideration the loud opposition to it.
Yeah, we always listen to the people. We also need capacity. And I know infrastructure is going through the whole process, but we got to get the jail built here in Brockville as well and add capacity. How old's that jail? I don't know.
182 years.
182 years. So at the end of the day, 182 years. So they're working on it, infrastructure. I got to kick some butt, by the way. I got to remember to go get infrastructure and find out what's taken so long and start moving. I know they have a lot of projects. And by the way, infrastructure, they're brilliant people over there. It's on time, on budget, but they have a lot of projects. So I got to make a phone call when I get off, find out what's happening with Brockville. Let's get Brockville done. Can't have a jail 182 years. Holy jumping. That's crazy.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, everyone. Again, I want to thank everyone. Great announcement today. Great for the region and great for Brockville. I want to thank everyone for coming out and just keep moving. We are blessed. And I want to wish everyone a very happy Thanksgiving and give thanks for living in the greatest jurisdiction anywhere in the world. We're all blessed. Thank you and God bless. Thank you.